Hello, RMJ Movie Reviews back again. And now I am coming with my third Christmas holiday movie review. And nothing says Christmas and nothing says happiness like Silent Night, Deadly Night from 1984. Oh, wow. I think most of us who remember the video stores back in the 80s and the early 90s remember this cover. I saw this one quite a few, except the one I saw had the USA logo in the corner there. Wow. What can I say about Silent Night, Deadly Night that hasn't been said already? When this film was released, obviously I was too young to have seen it in the theater. I might have only been 3 or 4 when this movie came out. I didn't see it till years and years later on home video. But oh boy, Silent Night, Deadly Night is one sleazy, sadistic, mean-spirited piece of low-budget movie making. Of course, this was made in the wake of, the holiday-themed slasher movies of Friday the 13th to Nightmare on Elm Street to, of course, Halloween and all those movies that came, My Bloody Valentine and all that kind of stuff. In which case, this tells the straightforward, simple story of a kid named Billy and his mommy and his daddy who are going to visit Grandpa in a mental institution, of which Grandpa is catatonic. He all of a sudden wakes up out of being catatonic when the parents decided such a great idea to leave little old Billy with Grandpa in a mental institution to talk with the doctor. And in a very, very chilling and creepy moment, I really mean it. This is like seriously creepy, y'all. I mean, watching it now, even at 33, I think this actor was really creepy and goofy at the same time. But he tells the kid, Christmas is the worst time of the year, and Santa Claus doesn't give gifts; he punishes children. Because we all know that's true. And, this kid Billy has some bad luck because that same night a psychopath in a Santa Claus suit decides to stick up the local drugstore, promptly shoot the clerk in the chest, in the stomach, and then shoot him in his forehead and blow his brains out. His car breaks down. Mommy and Daddy and Billy and his little baby brother happen to be driving down the street, and it's the same psychopath in a Santa Claus suit. He promptly shoots Dad in the head, rips Mommy's blouse open, slits her throat, and then Billy runs off and is put in the orphanage years and years later, where he's abused and tortured by Mother Superior. I cannot remember the actress's name. She was in Predator 2 and she was in Universal Soldier. I don't know. Horror fans out there, you can correct me, but Livia? I can't remember her name. But this woman is really scary. She's totally frightening, totally chilling. She plays the material totally straight. She's scary. She's really scary, and I really think that the whole first part of Silent Night, Deadly Night is really just set up to show what makes a person become deranged and twisted and become the psychotic killer. I really think the first act and the second act of the movie I think are actually pretty depressing. I mean, the scene where the guy murders the parents is it's pretty hardcore. I mean, this is a goofy kind of holiday themed slasher movie, but I think those parts of the movie are looking at it now, it's kind of upsetting. I thought, and particularly the ripping the mom's blouse off and the throat cutting. It's really nasty and really scary. But then when the movie kind of switches gears and goes into him being older, and then when the typical slasher movie stuff kicks in, it kind of, I don't think that part of the movie is as effective. I think the first half is pretty effective. And, of course you get some great nasty kills, of course strangulation by Christmas lights, a girl who gets a box cutter to the gut and then up into the middle of her chest, a hammer to the middle of the head, bow and arrow to the back. Of course, we can't forget the Leanna Quigley, where she gets impaled on deer antlers. I think anybody who I remember talking about this movie in elementary school, we all used to talk about that. But I think the highlight of the movie is the deer antler kill, and of course he gives the little girl the bloody box cutter as a gift for being good for Christmas. So yes, Silent Night, Deadly Night is one sick, sleazy, sadistic movie. It's highly mean spirited. It's just a trip, man. It's really funny too, man, to watch the retro review of Siskel and Ebert do a review of it, and for them to say that the movie is awful. I mean, I don't even think that should even come into question, because I think the filmmakers themselves even know it's awful. You know what I mean? But you could even tell that Siskel and Ebert were just pumping up the whole hate bandwagon for Silent Night, Deadly Night, because when I think Siskel describes that the girl gets impaled on the deer antlers, Ebert laughs. You can hear him laugh in the background, so they know this is just sleazy movie making, pure exploitation at its highest. Silent Night, Deadly Night does exactly what it's supposed to do. I just think that it's just kind of a weird duality, because the movie is split. You've got basic by the numbers slasher picture, but you really have the first half that's pretty interesting. You know what I mean? I think that first half with the kid being in the orphanage and and the mother superior beating these sick ideas into his head of sex is bad and all this kind of stuff. And the kid is tied up and he's having post traumatic. One scene that I've forgotten about was where he's tied to he's having a nightmare, and he sees his dad on the ground with a bullet hole in his head. I actually thought that was pretty effective. Like, not even kidding around. I thought that was pretty freaky and disturbing. So I think this movie has some effective stuff in it. It's just really more the stuff that's effective is in the first half, and then when it switches gears to 1980s holiday slasher movie, I just think it kind of loses steam a little bit there. At least for me, looking at it now as an adult. Of course, when I was a kid, that was the best part of the movie, and the orphanage part was kind of just like whatever. But if anything, the one thing that's funny about the movie is that I always wanted him to kill Mother Superior, because this woman is matter of fact, I think she's the true villain of the piece. Because I don't even really look at Billy really as a villain. I don't think he is a villain. I think he's not a hero. He's almost like Norman Bates. Just this tragic person. You know what I mean? Who just went bonkers. I think Mother Superior, I think, is the true villain of the piece, and I'd even say to an extent that Grandpa is a little bit of a villain. Kind of almost like kind of like you have the Emperor. Right, in Star Wars, I think Grandpa would be like the Emperor, and Mother Superior would be like Darth Vader, who carries out the punishment. So, Silent Night, Deadly Night is, of course, rewatching it again. I didn't think it was a hard watch. If anything, it was just the abuse scenes in the orphanage and the stuff with the parents being murdered. I thought that was kind of a little bit tough. That stuff was pretty hard to sit through. But as far as the rest of the movie, when it gets into basic slasher territory, I mean, it's fun to watch in a twisted kind of way. It always made me wonder, is the guy who plays Billy, and he like made it to Hollywood and got his first movie, because it says introducing whatever the actor's name is at the beginning of the movie. It always made me wonder, like, did the actor just like take his mom and his family to go see this when it came out? Like, hey mom, check out this scene where like I impale this chick on deer antlers with her breasts hanging out. So, yeah, this is a fun piece of mean spirited sleaze from the early '80s. I think if there were younger viewers, like 17, 18, were to see this now, they'd probably laugh at most of it. It'd be interesting to see if they'd find the scene with the parents being murdered being effective. Yeah, this is a fun piece of trash. One other thing that I noticed is in the toy store scene where he's like killing all his co-workers, he wipes out like 3 people, is how you could tell at this time they had no copyright toys ownership or anything, because you see like Mickey Mouse and Kermit and G.I. Joe and Batman and Spider-Man and My Little Pony. You're seeing like all these characters in the background while this guy is like, you know, strangling people with Christmas wires and shooting women with bow and arrows. It's hilarious. But for those of you who have not seen the Sleaze Fest, Silent Night, Deadly Night, if you're into goofy 80s, really mean-spirited movies centered around Christmas, by all means, check it out. You'll either be pissed that you watch it, or you'll be upset, or you'll be crying, or you'll just be able to laugh along with the goofiness of it after the first and second act of the movie. So that's my review, my Christmas happy holiday family picture review of Silent Night, Deadly Night from 1984. My next Christmas themed movie review is actually going to be the original Lethal Weapon starring Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. That's a classic right there. So RMJ Movie Reviews, I'll get back to you soon. You guys make some comments about Silent Night, Deadly Night, share my video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Yeah.